My name's Kelsey Sapino. I'll be moderating this panel discussion today. And today we're here to talk about women in gaming, the wins, the challenges, and the future of the industry and women in this space. Whether you're in the industry, you're looking to crack into this industry, or just love gaming in general, we're very excited to have you here. Gaming's come a long, long way over the last several years, right? And so has the women in this space, but there's still so much to talk about. Luckily, I'm not here to do this by myself. I have a group of wonderful ladies sitting here next to me that all have their own unique journeys and stories to share, and I'm so excited to unpack it alongside all of you today. So let's get into it. Can you ladies go ahead and introduce yourselves? Tell me your name, your role. How did you get into this space? What?
Hi, my name is Urszula. I'm Cyrus. I work as a performance coach for NAVI. I'm in esports for 11 years now. I work as a performance coach since actually my first gig during League of Legends event. So that's been a while. How did I get? I mean, it was usually accident. I'm a gamer myself. So basically, when a gamer watches games, and back in the days, I was also a business coach and let's say proficiency coach in my organization. I was watching the first, League of Legends championships, and I was like, oh my God, this doesn't work in the season. This doesn't work in the team. And then, my partner just told me to text the team and just tell them about it. And this is how it started. So weird background, but since then it's 11 years now. So yeah.
Hi everybody, my name is Sophie. I'm the editor-in-chief for hotspawn.com. I'm former editor-in-chief at esports.net. I've been an esports journalist for about 4 years now, and this is an ultimate dream job for me. I am probably the biggest esports fan I've ever met. So if anyone wants to try and challenge me on that, then please do. Super excited to be here, so thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Jascha. I'm the host city partnerships manager at EFG. And I got into esports by accident. I saw this job and I was like, well, I might just apply for it. My background is from traditional sports and I didn't know what esports and gaming was all about, but I'm very happy to be part of this and to be here.
Hello. I probably won't surprise anyone by saying that I got into esports by chance. I think that's a very popular motive right here. So my name is Beatrycze or Betty. That's how I'm mostly known and go by. I'm a EFG talent manager, so I manage all the beautiful faces you see on our broadcasts. Roughly 50% of all talent under EFG are my talent, and I've got into esports roughly 6 years ago, and I've started from the very bottom. I've started as an intern at ESL in Poland, and now I'm here, so I would say it's been a pretty cool journey, and really excited to be here. So thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have all of you here next to me. Betty, you said that you got here by chance. Can you elaborate on that?
Of course, so power of Instagram, everyone. It's been a repost of internship offering, reposted on this 5K following travel account from Poland. I took a screenshot, sent it to my friend. She got the internship. Then they needed a freelancer for a player manager role. And the day the event finished, I was asked to come work for ESL. So they literally just stole me from another company. And here we are.
I think it all starts with a passion from all of us. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy.
Yeah.
Once there's a passion, a specific topic, you just dive in because you have the expertise, you have the knowledge, you have, all it takes to do the job. And we usually start whatever, we just like it, we just dig in and try ourselves.
And I have no idea how else I could have ended up. One event, 7 days, I was hooked, and it was a zero-brainer. When I was I was given the offer and was like, yes, I'll see you next Monday. So it was basically 1 week of turnover. Esports got me hooked, and I couldn't be happier.
Awesome. Sophie, how did you get into journalism? You said you were more of an esports fan. Is that your entry point?
Yeah, sure. So the first esports tournament that I ever watched was the International 8 for Dota 2, and I instantly fell in love with Dota, and to this day I call it my soulmate. And at the time I was working teaching English as a foreign language, so not involved in esports at all. And I saw a job opening for a part-time writer, and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. So I applied, I got a call back, I ranted for 40 minutes about how much I love Dota, and eventually got that job. And then it was really just a case of integrating more and more esports. So next I went to Counter-Strike, then to Valorant. Never got quite as far as League of Legends, but you know, that is about it. And then I went to editor, and then I went over to esports.net. I was invited to be editor-in-chief, and long story short, here I am at Hotspawn. So every journalist changes job a lot, and I'm one of them.
All right, so a strong theme of chance and hard work seems to be the running flow. How did you get in here, Jascha?
Yeah, as I said, it was by accident. I worked as a sports marketing agency before. I had to find a new job, and I looked online and I saw this position at ESL back then as a partner manager, and I thought, well, I guess it's sport with an E in front of it. I might just apply, and here I am. So I encourage everybody of you to just, you know, when you see the job, apply. If you have a background in esports or not, like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. For me, it was a new language, a new world, but it's amazing.
Awesome. So it does seem like a lot of us started from that ground zero, that intern level, that please take a chance on me. That must have come with some challenges. Who wants to go first?
I can go. Like being in a spotlight and in the front line of a team. I think the biggest challenge any esports team faces is the distance and the travels. Like that's the biggest challenge. Myself, I'm a mom with 2 kids, and you know, being constantly away and just like trying to meet all the ends of what I miss and what I need to do. It's quite challenging, not gonna lie, but what's good is that inside of our team there's a lot of understanding and there's a lot of like, you know, chemistry and bond. We are like a family, so I have a lot of support from them, like, you know, and also I'm as busy as I can be not to have time to miss anyone or something. But last year I think was the most challenging for me, mostly because we've never had such an intensive calendar. End of the year we traveled Singapore, and right after Singapore to Shanghai for over a month. So I was like definitely more than 250 days away from home, which was tough. But on the other hand, it brings results. So as you know, NAVI, like we are performing pretty well right now. So at some point you need to build something. And you know, it's good that we have all the social media and like media, so I can call my kids, my family, can talk to every single day. So it's still like building up on something, but I definitely make it up every time I'm at home. So it's not only for me, it's also for the players, but the travels, they're pretty demanding, not gonna lie.
I have to agree on the travel thing. That does, it really takes a lot of confidence, I think, to just get on a plane by yourself often for the very first time and just fly to another country, figure out how to get there, how to pick up your accreditation. Everything can be really difficult. And I think for me, like the biggest challenge has been my own confidence, imposter syndrome, thinking, do I even deserve to be here?
Yes, yes.
I've just fallen into this role. How did this even happen? How is this my life? And I do think that is really challenging, but it's really important to remember that you have this job for a reason, and it's because somebody believes in you, so you should believe in yourself.
Yeah, and as both of them mentioned, traveling is a privilege, and I work with host cities, so I get to travel to a lot of different cities in the world. And one of our biggest challenges is, and I think you all can relate to it, educate older people on the influence of gaming and esports. So you can imagine we have the same conversation that you probably have with your parents or your grandparents. trying to explain what esports and gaming is all about. So there's a lot of work for us to do.
Yes, on the travel, but I actually at this point cannot imagine my life without traveling, and a month without an airport.
You get a little cabin fever?
Yes.
But I think to me the biggest challenge was always because my role is very specific, and talent management is a very narrow field. Funnily enough, it's a huge group to manage, but it's very specific. So to me, the biggest challenge was always keeping up with esports, and it's extremely dynamic, and we know that. And every single game, every single title has its specifics, has a very unique set of rules, and every very unique set of characteristics that you want to hit just perfectly to deliver to the audience that is expecting a specific result and a specific feel to the title, and you want to give every single title a justice. And then it's your job to find a good face and a good voice to represent the entire broadcast, the entire production. But in all of this, you have to find some common characteristics, and you have to establish a workflow that will let you basically power through, survive, and put all of the pieces together. So to me, that's...
You know, hearing all of you ladies recall these, challenges that we overcome daily, weekly, very, very regularly, there is something really special about each of your stories, and none of it was negative, negative, negative. You guys always looked at it as, yeah, sure, this is the challenge, but this is for the better of the industry. This is for the better of the next person behind me. So let's celebrate some of those wins. Jascha, you were recently had a very fun nomination. Can you please tell us about this?
Yeah, so I have the privilege to be part of the Sports Pro New Era program, and this is directed at young leaders, female leaders in the sports industry, and I'm in the cohort of 17 other women in the sports industry, and I think there are two cool parts of it. One is that I'm the only representative for esports for EFG, so we made it. Esports is part of traditional
Let's get
sport.
a round of applause for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I get to talk to a lot of inspiring women in the industry. So yeah, that's an amazing accomplishment.
Congratulations, Jascha. That's huge. Ula, any big wins?
Any big wins? I think last year I would probably pick something else, but this year started with a really big motivational bonus for us as the NAVI team. I think the moment that we were picking up the HLTV awards for the team of the year, and everyone is on stage, everyone is smiling, laughing, and just having those thoughts like, okay, what can we do better this year not to miss that chance next year? I think that was like a super big win. And if I can add it, feeling a part of the team, like, when big people like Blade is talking about the team, how we build, what we build, and then all of a sudden being mentioned by him, like it wouldn't happen without our staff. And then I'm like, oh wow, like that was something that I did not expect. I didn't see it coming, but it was like, okay, so yeah, I guess it works. Sometimes with my work, it's not like you see insta results of what I do. It requires a lot of energy, a lot of talks about emotions, a lot of discipline, and just you get up in the morning, you see your team in the morning on the team walk, and if you know them inside out, that something is wrong with some of them. And especially if we have a game day or something, this is the moment when my work starts. And those little things that are usually not visible for the fans, for the audience, for like anyone around the esports, these are the little things I live off, especially when the competitive time is pretty demanding. So I feel like we started the year with my big win, but I think overall being able to be in this environment, to see how it grows, to support the people, to support the girls in esports, because we also need to talk about it because the scene is growing, and seeing things like my team being challenged by the Imperial female. These are the little wins that I meet every single day, and I think the more of those we have, the more happy I am. But on the top of that, it's even though they're demanding things, you just need to look at the bright side of the story. So there's always something that motivates you to do more and more and more.
Betty, you're also in that face of the tournament. What are your wins?
My wins, well, a part of the countless awards that talent are getting, and not esports awards, not only esports awards, but for example also Emmys. Like, look at Shoxy. Come on, that's huge. To me, seeing that the community and how the audience responds to the show, the show having a good vibe, the value we deliver, the way we present esports to esports specific audiences, but also esports not specific audiences, to people who are only getting into esports. Reading all of the comments, I love how this person fits with the old team. I love how this person looks on camera. I love the value this person brings. I love how esports is being explained to me. And then just seeing all of the amazing productions we're delivering, and getting to be a part of that, and actually making those choices and seeing that things work and that esports is responding well to what we are building towards and we are trying to achieve. It's incredible. So yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you're like usually the person in the morning that when you see your your member of your team like being in a bad mood or something, it's like up to you to lift them up and just make sure that they are on the top of what they do, right?
Yeah, so talent management is very personal. It's extremely personal, and you have to be you're single-handedly very often responsible for the entire talent lineup's mood. You have to make sure that everyone is prepared, well-rested, in a good mood, has everything they need. And you also have to be the middleman between talent, production, marketing, many departments. And everything is centralized within your job, within this one person present there. It's extremely, the responsibility is huge, but also it's extremely rewarding when you see that what you do works and that talent are performing well.
I love the family dynamic that you guys both tapped into. And it's true, the esports community is a family. We all band together to keep building this into the greatness that it's become. You know, looking at the other side of this from the journalist standpoint, how does that translate, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because depending on the size of the news outlet that you're working for, you do have different size teams of journalists that you're working with. I think the biggest team that I ran was 22 journalists. Currently working with a much smaller one over at Hotspawn because we are such a new website and just building up. But as the editor-in-chief, it's really my role to make sure, I mean, as you're saying, that everybody's in a good mood, everyone's following their games, everyone's getting the feedback that they deserve based on their numbers, based on how people are responding to their articles. You know, people respond well to that feedback. And, you know, I sort of see myself as like the little mother hen guiding them all through and making sure everybody is improving and learning and making sure that they're writing and producing the best content that they possibly can. So that family element is really important. You never want to be like, I am the boss, you do what I say. You have to respect that people are experts in their own field and their own game.
Well, that brings a little bit of your guys' challenge in, right? Because we travel how many weeks across the year to a new country, to a different side of the world, and you look around and it's these familiar faces that you look forward to seeing again because we all go back to our little home base and then we come back. And it is the community, it is the family that keeps us all together and driving, right? From a journalist standpoint, there have been many changes within the industry that have been very, very positive. Can you elaborate on how that translates in your side of the world?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think when I went to my very first Tier 1 esports event, it was the...
What was it?
It was the Dota 2 Berlin Major in 2023. And at that time, I didn't know what I was doing. I showed up at the event. I didn't even bring a laptop with me because I didn't know I'd be able to bring it into the arena. I just had my phone. And I was just stood there, a little baby journalist, no idea what I was doing. And I would just like to give a little shout out to Kasia because she was there and she really helped me with getting my interviews. And the more events that I'm going to, the more women I'm seeing in the press room. And there was a time when I was getting quite used to being the only one, and that was really sad to see. I didn't want that. I didn't want to be the only one there in a group full of 20, 50 people. But now I'm seeing more and more of this, and there's more women applying, there's more women creating content, and it's just great to see them being elevated in that respect.
And Ula, are you seeing these same changes in like the team aspect of this as well?
If it comes to the approach, what has really changed is, I don't know if you've seen, but after our game with Imperial, every team member tweeted a lot of respect. Every team member commented on that team, and also the org supported that a lot. So I feel like the more recognition we give it to the topic and the more, let's say, honest opinions about how things change we show, and like we present that that there is no difference in, you know, competitive female esport world and competitive male. There is no need to kind of tell that women can or cannot compete with the male environment. We just need to see, like in sport, that there is a female league. In tennis, there is female league, there is a male league. In football, in volleyball, wherever we go, there are two leagues separately. And all the, you know, top athletes, they support each other. It's a Djokovic talking about Iga Świątek. It's my boys talking about the female team. So I think what's big about it is that we just need to get into the habit of like stop comparing, but respecting what we can build, because we just need to build a specific solid league that can function next to the big male, I would say now dominated environment. However, slowly but surely, the girls are climbing up and trying to fight their way up, which is good. And I think the more recognition we'll have that directions, the easier it will be for us to build a solid league that can function like, you know, the female tennis league next to the male one. And I'm just looking forward to this.
I think what you said, like the more inclusive the community becomes, the more credibility is added to the community, which helps us a lot when we speak to city officials and government officials and try to find against the stereotype that gaming is just for, you know, the 14, 15-year-old young boy sitting in the basement playing video games. So the more the community matures and opens up, the easier it is for us to have these important conversations with cities and governments.
And thank you. And I think it translates not only to esports, but entertainment in general. Like esports closes a very specific gap within the entertainment industry. And look at this room alone. Do you think this would have happened if there weren't so many different voices, different opinions, different needs expressed? And you cannot have needs expressed by only one group of people. You need a diversity at your table in order to build all of this. So esport grows in a very organic way and is getting more and more open. And you can see that translate into esports broadcasts. They are starting to be much less structured, much more open, much more, hey, we are inviting you to watch. Hey, we want you to understand esports, but not on a, maybe not super technical level. We want you to see the entertainment potential. And then esports is central to different entertainment means. For example, look at DreamHacks. It's not just esports, it's concert, it's drag shows, it's many creators being able to showcase their work, and esports opens the door to all of this being welcomed and possible.
I'll go step ahead because yesterday in the arena on the opening ceremony, I saw so many young generations, so like age teenagers with their parents, with their dads. I'm not sure if I saw many moms as well. But what I'm trying to say is my dad is a huge fan of sport, and he's watching sport, any Olympics, anything that's happening in Europe with sport, with athletics or, I don't know, football. He watches a lot. But I don't. My kids, not really. So we need to kind of create the gap between what's popular within the generation of, let's say, 50 plus, and what's popular below that aspect. And I think without esport being more popular and more visible around the world next to sport, so like the healthy way of growing esport and showing the true face of esport, not the stereotypes that are there, we can build a very solid environment that can, as you said, fill in the entertainment gap that is actually getting bigger and bigger. So I guess it's like, you know, having same disciplines, showing them and bringing how much value they can actually bring as well.
Absolutely. So we've looked a lot at your guys' experiences and what you guys have done in this. But what can those in this room do to help further these initiatives and help bring, you know, all of this community together to build us all up?
I think virtually everybody on this panel has said that they got into esports by chance, right? So I think my number one piece of advice, I mean, I can only really speak to journalists, but take every opportunity that is given to you. Go to every event you possibly can. If you see somebody you recognize, a creator, a journalist, a player, anybody, go up and introduce yourself. Don't be embarrassed. We're all just nerds. You know, we all are just love here, and we love being here, and we love the games. So take every single opportunity that you can and never ever stop loving the game.
And if you like what you see here, but aren't really esports interested yet, I mean, I would assume you are interested in esports in one way or another, but if you're not, I don't come from esports at all. I'm still learning esports and I'm growing. I am falling more and more in love with esports every day because of the emotion it builds, the community it builds. So if you know you have a skill set that is, in your opinion, useful to the entertainment business, and it's not just on the creative side, there are many departments universal to esports. Just feel welcome, come say hi, put yourself forward, because you never know. Look how universal the festivals are. Look how diverse this room alone is. We need a lot of different skill sets. So just please don't be afraid to come forward if you don't feel you're super esports specific. You learn as you go, and if what you do brings value, we want that.
I mean, Kelsey and I, we are colleagues. We work at the same company, and we can tell you that at our company, there is a finance department, a legal department. So it's exactly what you said. You don't have to have this, like, you don't have to know what you want to do. And if you want to take a more like safe bet in the future, you can still convert your skills into like esports and be part of the esports and gaming community and find a job there.
And also, one more thing, you don't really realize how versatile esports is until you've seen a production room, until you've entered our backstage. So it might just happen that you'll discover a role that is perfect for you, that you didn't know existed. So take your chance on esports and don't be afraid to actually explore, because as we explore, as we exchange ideas, we build upon each other and we build each other's up. Come do that. It's really fun.
That is so true, and I will top it up with passion, because I said it once, I'll repeat it again. Be passionate about what you do, and be confident in what you do. And what is important is to remember, and I'm also telling that to my boys, confidence never, ever, ever comes from people outside. Confidence should never come from how you praised or what people say. Confidence should come from what you feel about how you do things, how you believe in yourself. And if you believe that you have something to show, and you believe that your skills, so you have ability, then you have all it takes to do a specific job. Be confident and do it, because your passion is one thing, and just follow up with confidence and look quite on your face, I guess, stars, yeah.
I do think it's sadly time to wrap up, but before you go, I want to ask all of you to look inward. What can you guys do to support these ladies, to support this expo hall, to support this tournament further? Because conversations like this don't need to end here. If something from this conversation stuck with you today, post it on social media. Don't be afraid to amplify it. That's how we have our voices heard, and that's how we get bigger and better together. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Ains.
Thank you for having us.